Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, and today I thought I would do a trip down memory lane and do a sketchbook tour. So this is my sketchbook. This is when I first started learning how to draw parts of the face. I was practicing real hard, and then I decided, let me try this face. Now this is actually a revision of a drawing that I had done before, and I really love how it turned out. Then I started to take tutorials on YouTube, and I found a tutorial of this eye. I think I did a really good job on this. This is one of my favorite drawings I've ever done. It's in colored pencil. That's when I first started really doing colored pencil drawings. And then I also used that same artist tutorials to learn how to do shading, and I drew this apple, which I think looks pretty good for a first time drawing. And then I tried to draw with colored pencil in my imagination, and this is when I still wasn't really sure about proportions of the face. And then I drew this artichoke also through that tutorial. That artist had tutorial about this artichoke. I love the shading and the coloring of this picture. And so I felt a little bit more confident to do faces, so I decided I would print this reference and start learning how to do dark and light values. And I like this black and white photo because it teaches you how to shade and how to use values properly. Again, another tutorial drawing from that same artist on YouTube. I learned a lot from her. This is strawberries, of course, and she showed how you can make texture in the picture with like certain types of tools and with colored pencils and ink pens, a certain type of white ink pens. I thought that was very interesting, and I was pretty proud of this as well. Then also another tutorial drawing of a kitty. As you can see, the original there is the reference, and then the thing I learned in this photo is how to do the background and how to do kind of like a foggy background, and also how to draw kitty cats. So I thought I would try and draw my own cat. This is my cat Walter. This is just me trying to use the picture of him, the reference picture that I took of him. And it does look cartoonish. There's some things that I still needed to learn about fur and drawing cat faces. So I bought a book to teach me about how to draw animals, and you can see some doodles here. So this page, there's a tutorial drawing on the right of a young girl's face, which turned out pretty good. I learned this one pretty quickly, and I was happy with how it turned out. The second picture is a picture of one of the houses in the village in France where I live part-time, and I thought it was good drawing on perspective. Now this is my foray into learning how to draw faces. Now I tried to draw in different angles, different colors and things like that. I wasn't very good at it and still working on it, but by the end I think I started to do better. Here is one of my first ever watercolor paintings. I loved all the colors, but the proportions obviously of the face are wrong, and I don't know, it was just a practice. I was going back again to faces after I drew that poor watercolor face, and so I was learning how to draw angles like the chin up or down or to the side. Some of them turned out good, some of them turned out not so good, but it was all practice. I'm still learning how to draw faces because I do enjoy drawing portraits the most out of everything. So I have to sketch and practice. The next picture is a watercolor painting of a boat in Morocco, I believe. Egypt or Morocco, I can't remember which one. I think it's Egypt. When I went to Egypt, I took a picture of this what do they call it, felucca, and so I drew a picture of that. I painted a picture of that while I was on the plane going to Paris. And then this is a plein air painting. I have a video on this painting and how I came about making this painting on this channel. If you want to check it out, I'll link the video in the cards above. I like the way the leaves and the trees turned out. So this is a self-portrait that I did with chalk pastels that I got when I was in Amsterdam. I did it really quickly. I'm not too proud of that one. This is on the right, you can see a colored pencil drawing of my Rottweiler Jr. I was pretty excited about that. And I see where the mistakes are now. And then on the left side is one of my first watercolor paintings ever. It's not great, but again, it was all practice. On this side, there, on the right side, there, I wanted to practice doing fair skin color, and I thought this picture was really pretty, and so I copied it. And then I was in the bank when I did the one on the left. I was just some kind of abstract picture of a party favor. It was in the window at the bank, so I just drew it. So this shows the drawing that I did of Beyonce in concert. I did go to her concert, so one of the outfits that she wore. And then on the left side is just another sketch of me trying to learn how to do fair skin color with a colored pencil. This is one of my favorites, and this is a parakeet that I did. I just think he's so handsome with all his beautiful colors, and it's watercolor. Yeah, it was one of the more successful watercolors that I've done. This is a sketch that I think I did in like 40 minutes while I was in the Rembrandt Museum in Amsterdam. It's a copy of one of his sketches in the museum, and there was a place like on the top floor where you can, kind of copy his work if you wanted. So I sat down and did so. The next one is just there's a tutorial that I followed on YouTube for the face on the right. Her neck is a little too long that I see after I finished, but it would turn out okay. And then I did this other watercolor painting from a reference of a butterfly, and I love the colors there. Now, the next one, I believe, is my last watercolor painting, yes, of Chenille au Papillon. That's the name of this channel, and I wanted to create something that would represent the channel and represent my brand, so this is what I came up with. I probably will paint it in oils too. And then this is my last watercolor painting of a mountain range and reflection in the water with like trees and things around. It's not the greatest, but I was okay with what it looked like. The next set of paintings are my first ever acrylic paintings. This is a picture of my water bottle sitting on my clarinet case in my living room by the window. It's not great, but again, practice, right? This is a picture of a statue that I made out of clay, terracotta clay. And this is my attempt at a portrait of a YouTuber that I like. Her name is Sydney Black. This is a terrible, terrible picture of her, but I see now I was just struggling with portraits. And then this is a picture of a painting of my hand. I'm showing you how I kind of like figured it out. And yeah, it turned out okay. I don't like the colors as much. The composition isn't as great, but I still think it turned good. Oh, good. And this is a dahlia from my garden. I really liked how I did the leaves and everything, and I love that dahlia. This is a tutorial of an acrylic painting of a tutorial that I did from YouTube with butterflies. Obviously, I have an affinity for butterflies. It taught me how to do sunshine through the trees and all that. And this is probably my best acrylic painting that I've ever done. I did follow a tutorial from YouTube for this one, but it's the best one I've ever done. It's like the most realistic looking acrylic painting that I have, and I'm pretty proud of it, even though I did have to follow a tutorial to do it. Then I ventured into the world of pastels, more specifically pan pastels and pastel pencils. And this is a pastel painting of Oprah. It was a picture of her, the cover of, I think, O magazine that I was copying. I liked how I learned how to do creases in the clothing. Not the best face, but I liked how I did the shading in the water and all that kind of stuff. But this one is a better one. I got this reference offline, and I just liked how the leaves turned out, and even the shininess on her necklace and all of that. It was a much better drawing, I think, than the first one that I used, but I enjoyed the pastel process. And then progressively, I think I've gotten better with pastels. This is also a pastel painting, and it's kind of a replica of a historic painting from the Netherlands. And yeah, I didn't like how I did her lips, but everything else I think turned out pretty well, including the background. I think it looks more like a painting than like with paints. And then this is my latest pastel painting of a teacup and lemon and some tea. I liked the details on the lemon with the little dots, and I like the swirls in the tea. I still had a problem with how the saucer of the teacup looked, but there's also creasing in the fabric that it was sitting on. You can't tell by this picture, but I think when I put the matte adhesive over it, it just took out all the details of it. That is the tour of my sketches in my sketchbook. I hope you enjoyed.